Okay, hello everyone again. So we'll pick up where we left off last time. So last time we got the kind of parser going for our project that is given a .text file containing information about all of these images, both the scientific names as well as the common names of these animals. We figured out a way of we got this importing to the project, and the words that appear in this file, we got them rendering to the screen. So the task left for today is to get the question logic working. That is, when the correct animals are selected, a new animal will be drawn to the screen. The names on these options will be updated, and then basically at that point I'll have a finished game, a finished app, and then there'll be some important administrative bookkeeping things to do, readme comments, etc., and then finally adding a large list of animals into this. Upon reflecting on the previous stream, where a bunch of time was spent trying to debug an error in this file because I had forgotten to add in a name, I realized since this is a CSV file, it probably makes more sense to edit this using a piece of software that edits CSV files than just copy and pasting into a text file. So I'll start today by just downloading some software to do that, and then this will also make it easy if there is a typo or an error to spot it. And so I think there's a piece of software called like Modern CSV like editor or viewer. Yeah, this one here. And so if I go to the downloads page, I'll get this working. So we want the portable version for Windows, this one here, and let's just save it to software. Okay, that's done. And then unzip this. Okay. And then this here is the app. A really easy way of editing these kind of things. Okay, but before you do that, let me rename this so I can easily call it from the command line. So we'll just call it Modern CSV, and then I'll add this to the path as well. So let's just copy in that file. Okay, and now let's open this file using this editor. Now I can say this modern CSV. Oops. Oh, I need to relaunch PowerShell. And then the image information. Oh. Let's go to our project. This modern CSV image info. Okay, this is a easier way to edit the file, and probably what I should have been doing from the beginning, but now I know. Now I actually have a reason for using software like this, because doing this led to a bug. Additionally, there are some, so doing something like this will just visually indicate if I forgot to add in a field, but it would be nice to add in some more concrete checks into the code itself. So already we discovered one of those last time when one of these rows didn't have all of the entries. When we were unwrapping when we were doing this part here, we were getting an error that said I can't unwrap the next field. Oh yeah, happy to see you here, to Stefan. Yeah, good evening and Happy New Year to you too. In fact, yeah, thank you for your suggestion of how to make this code a bit more robust as well. Within this while loop, we can say that at the end of each of these loops, we can add an assert statement to make sure that if we did try and unwrap the field again, we would end up with a null pointer. And so in particular, I can say here, let's do an assert that let's do a defer that the when we do the standard assert debug, that the field iterator once we unwrap it is equal to rather than just the next is equal to a null pointer, and then this should give us an error if we add in too many fields into the project. Okay, let me just make sure that I didn't do anything silly when I just added in that line now. I think it should be fine though. Okay, and then after that we can also, okay, I did do something really silly. Oops, I should do this after I've actually defined what the field iterator is. Okay, and then, yeah, working as usual. It also, another bug we ran into last time was that when we split up the file, this CSV file, the file gets first of all loaded as a zig string. However, the words that we want to pass to raylib need to be C strings. That is, they need to be null terminated. We figured this out last time, and by the way, I mean thanks again, two-step, for the help. By just appending these bytes and calling these things at compile time. However, the type of these things are still just standard string slices. However, I remembered that there's a nicer way of specifying these to be null terminated within Zig, which is to do the following. And then when I was just like playing around with trying to convert these this morning, I discovered that actually just appending these bytes to the end is work. Like I thought maybe I need to do a like pointer unwrap, or even go so far as to define like a buffer allocator, a compile time to do stuff, but that's not necessary. But at least by specifying the type like this, it makes it easier for anyone who's reading this, and also to know that, yeah, these things are going to be passed to the raylib functions, and also it's a stronger, the compiler then knows about it, and so it's a stronger check. And so this shouldn't really affect anything when we compile it now, but it makes our code a bit stronger. Great. Okay. Okay. Lastly, another thing I wanted to test from last time was, I eventually want this app just to be like standalone, in that it doesn't need to be necessarily compiled from scratch in, say, like 10 years time. Like it's just a .exe file I can run whenever I want. However, in order for that to be the case, it needs to be portable. So I thought, let me just like, an easy way of checking if it is portable is literally just copying it to some other location and then seeing if it runs from that. So say I copied the executable from zig out. Currently it's called like zig raylib.exe, which is a weird name. So first I should actually change this. Let's just call it butterfly quiz. Okay. So then if I just like build it again, but with this different name, and then copy it somewhere, it doesn't. The spoiler is that it doesn't work as intended. But we'll fix that as well. So now if I copy this thing, say one directory upwards, and then I just say, let's run this. Is this truly a standalone app? It fails. We got all of these errors here, and in particular, we can see Raylib's debug message said that it's unable to find these image files. I think so, now normally when the project also ran there's also an error in that it wasn't able to find 2.png, and then looking back at this, if we actually have a slightly different issue, but if we were to go back to the photos I just stored in this project, yeah, I can see that I misnamed one of them. So really the 3 should be a 2, and really the 4 should be a 3. But even with that aside, we're not actually storing these things in the binary as of yet. So before I go on today, I just want to fix this issue as well. Okay. So in particular, the way that this stuff is currently loaded is using this loop. Even though we called it at compile time, it's still calling a raylib function that's in some sense it's still going to be loading this stuff at runtime, and so instead of using the raylib function load image, there's one called load image from memory. So let's see. Instead of this one, we want this one here. And then yeah, this says this load image from the memory buffer. File type refers to extension. So we can use the embed file functionality in Zig to do this, but let's look up the source of this first, because it's not clear to me what all of these arguments should actually be. Okay, so we want to do. Let's have a look at this. So within Raylib, we want to check out, it might even be in the header, load image from memory. Okay, so then where does this get called? Where is it defined? Looks like this is it here. So it's in R textures 482. Oops. Let's see, Raylib R textures. Source. The R textures 482. File type return refers to an extension, sure. So what do we need to put where? Okay, so this is just going to be the pointer, and then we do need to actually specify what it is. Interesting. Okay, so so we can test this out by doing what? By going to this inline for loop, and then let's duplicate this. So we want to do load image from memory, and then as the first argument here we want, I guess, just .png, and then the name of it, which we'll store in some fixed array with these embedded files. And then the data size. I'm a bit surprised we need to specify this. I don't know what it is we need to do though. Like, I'm so happy that Zig exists and that we don't have to do all of these pre-processor macro stuff. This looks really nasty. Yeah, embed all the things for great justice, yeah. I'm a big fan of embedding things. Generally. Okay, where's this used? So I might need to look up this STBI load from memory then. Or potentially, okay, if we can just make an assumption that this is bytes and test it. So if the data size is just the length of this, then I should be able to say whatever the embedded file is, just do a .len for the length of it. Okay, so now time to embed all of these files. So what's a good place to do that? Probably around here, I'd say. So we can do another comp time trick. Ooh, yeah, what's the best way? So we can just say embedded constant embedded images can be a fixed array. We'll just make it let the compiler figure out how many things there are in here, and we'll make this constant. If we are embedding an image, is going to be null terminated. We'll make it null terminated. Okay, documentation time actually. How does embed file work? Okay, it does. It's null terminated by default. Nice. Okay, so we just tell it the path and then it returns a fixed array. Great. I guess the difficult thing now is that I can't really define an array of these fixed things if the types of these differ for each file, just because each file is of a different length. We could come back to this, how to clear this up later. So maybe now I just do a kind of hacky job by saying photo 0 is equal to the embed file of photos 0.png, and then doing the appropriate transformations. Okay, I'm going to try using macros again. Hopefully I will survive. Okay, and then if I go down over here and apply macro, okay, nearly worked. Hurrah. Okay, and then now that we've got those, I want to like put these in a for loop, but I feel like the for loop truly requires each of these to have some kind of same data type. So two step says, oh, I'm worried now that embed file won't work with anything but a string literal, like how import works. So this might now work. Okay. Oh, it might not work. We can give it a go. Okay, instead of just like figuring out the loops, let me try just importing a single one of these, and then if that works, we'll then figure out the looping logic. So where was the inline for loop? Okay. So we'll say like figure out how to do this with loops. Let's just make this image array have a single entry, and then this will have a single entry as well. And then now I just want to say the photo image array is going to equal this load image from memory, but now with what was the name of it again? Vertical screens, please. Just photo 0 and photo 1. Okay. And I think we need to do a pointer to it. Photo 0, and then photo 0 dot length. Okay, and then we can also say for this photo image texture, for this photo texture array, I think we can just do the same thing here. Okay. And then, okay, what else called this? Do we need to adjust this for any of the tests? No. But what caused this down the line? We're already calling the 0 entry of that anyway. Okay, let's see how this holds up so far then. Expected type expression found something else on 173. So, oh, maybe this is like a some like formatting error. Yeah. Use of undeclared identifier I 164. Yep, that would be the case. Okay, so now we are getting some type issues. So yep. So what do we do here? Do we simply slice this constant array? Okay, and then so you said I believe photo 0 is already a pointer. Yeah, that's going to get rid of one of the parts in this that's wrong for sure. But I'm wondering if the fixed array versus slice issue is also going to cause a compile error here. Or not. Okay. Great. That seems to be working. Okay, so now it's time to put this all into a loop instead. Okay, so then what's the way to do this? Like, there would be some fancy way of doing this at comp time, but I believe there should be a simpler way, or a simple way of doing this as well. Certainly comp time will enable us to generate all of these strings and then load them. It's rather what kind of what kind of data structure should we put all of these embedded files within? So given that these are themselves pointers to these fixed arrays, I kind of just want to take a slice of these, and then that would make all of their types consistent, and I don't think this should affect anything else. So if we said this is equal to just a slice now, an terminated slice of constant U8s, would this, let's just see if this works. And then if it doesn't, I can wrap up all of them in this. Okay, this seems to work. So why don't we say then our embedded photo array is the result of a comp time function which we'll call embed photos, and then let's define this. Let's say embed photos is something that's going to return. I don't think I actually need that. We want the number of we want the number of lines here, and then we want these now terminated arrays of constant U8s. And so let's say then we want our return array that will do this. So call this not result, not return, just result, to be of this type. We'll make this undefined at this point. And then we want to basically kind of do all of this within here. So now we can then say for 0 to the number of lines, capture this, and then I want to say the result I is equal to embed file photos / basically the integer but converted into a string .png, and then I think that should then work. Okay, but the question is, how do we convert this this U size into a string? Never had to do that before, but I feel this is a canonical thing anyone who uses any programming language has to do at some point. Oh, thank you, Two-Step. So comp time. Oh, I see. So we can actually just use a comp time print in order to do this. Why not? Okay, so then I can just say the string version of the I is equal to comp time print standard dot, and it's one word, so comp time print yeah, just this thing, and we're printing it with I. So let me look this up since I haven't seen it before. Actually, I'll just skip it. I have confidence this works kind of in the same way that the standard string does. And then we want to return this result. So now let's. Sorry, I sometimes forget. I zoom out and forget that it's best if I zoom in for anyone who's watching this on a phone or a small device. Now for the embedded photo array. I just need to update what we had before with this. So where do we do that again? It was this part down here. So we have this embedded photo array. I guess we just want to make this now. We want to make these the number of lines. And I think actually we're not going to have to use the again, like last time, I'm still not convinced. I'm not yet convinced that we won't need the image array. So I'll keep both of these here, but we can probably get rid of one of these later on. So now we want to do the inline for loop again. But now, so now we're loading from memory the given index in the embedded photo array. So we're loading the PNG that's in there, and instead of photo 0.length, it's now just the length of this thing. And then in, oh wait, actually no, it's okay, it's okay. And then for this part here, get rid of this. For the texture array, we now want the ith one of these to be ith one in here. Okay. Okay. Let's give this a go. Uh, 222. Something's not right. We didn't really touch this at all, so there's another error going on somewhere else. The question is what? Let me zoom out again. what did we do? Like, is it because like comp time functions do need to have like a semicolon ending them? I don't know. No, it doesn't seem to like that. Yeah, why before was it saying it's not, you know, why is this thing here causing an error? Oh wait, everything's been indexed to, something's wrong with the indexing. Whoa. Have I like duplicated this source code in some way? Because yeah, our file was not like 400 lines, and everything's been really indented. Okay, let's just. I want to just back up a bit, but before I do, let's just save what I just wrote, so I don't need to do it again. Yeah, this is a really weird error. Yeah, what's going on? Okay, we'll just save this to a buffer. Control save 1, and then we'll go down to. Yeah, I think this was just some like weird editor issue I did. Save that to 2. Okay. Let me go back. Okay, what about here? Is this? This seems to be fine. Okay. So get rid of this. Put that back in there. Comment that out, and then for the inline part, put that in here instead. Okay. Okay, this looks at least a bit better. Yeah, that was really weird. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. What have you done is the correct response, but hopefully, it's a. Oh no. Hopefully it works now. I guess we'll see. Okay, this looks like better kinds of errors. Okay, 35. Yeah, we want embed photos as opposed to embed photo, and then for string I here, we want that to be a constant. Okay. Okay, 87, expected tuple or struct argument, found usize. Right, oops, that was in the standard format one. So within embed photos, oh, it's this comp time printing that's giving us an issue. Okay, so what about this do we need to fix? Expected tuples. Oh, it's the same, like the same noob error I continue to make. Like actually, why don't we just? I'm just gonna start a tally. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. So let's go to this like, test.txt. Get rid of it. Okay. Okay. Tally of forgetting to do of doing exactly this thing. Doing print blah x instead of, okay, like it's, if I record how many times I do this, each time will be more shameful than the last, and then I'll break out of the habit eventually. But yeah, it's just, this happens so often. Yeah. Eventually I'll break the habit. Okay. Okay, we are back from the brink. And let's just immediately save what we've done, so that we could use Git to recover it if something like this happened and something like this happened again. So yeah, we did the embed photo code. We made these properly, have like proper now terminated types, and then we then did the proper embedding stuff. Okay. So yeah, this should be. This is what we want. Small fixes, including embedding photos. Okay, push that to GitHub servers. Okay, and then now I want to just check that things have properly been embedded by copying the executable somewhere else, and then seeing if it works from somewhere else. So now if we do this butterfly quiz.exe, fantastic. Okay, now we do have something that is portable. Okay, so I guess now we can get on with the logic stuff today. So yeah, we can do this get logic and the next screen working, and then there may be time to randomize it as well. But if not, we can randomize it next time. Okay. So you said two-step said, oh neat, did that work? I guess I was wrong about the computed paths to embed file. Let's go. Yeah, I'm curious, like, could you talk more about like why you expected it to fail? Like, yeah, I guess like for me, I don't know enough of the internals, and kind of just seeing that this embed file is just going to return some null terminated fixed array. I guess I would just hope that in raylib's function, it simply, yeah, is expecting some, I was going to say expecting some null terminated array, but I don't think that was the case. I think the raylib function just wanted a pointer and a length, and then it would simply copy that amount of memory and then try importing that. Oh, So did I miss the comment? Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. This won't work with import path plus plus file name. Okay. Oh, curious. So really, so if we tried, how does import work instead? Oh yeah, yeah. So I think during some like early Zig experiments, I tried importing libraries like in directories above the current one or somewhere else, and I was just having a lot of issues with this, and it kind of failed. And so I just resorted to literally copying everything in like the build directory and working things that way. Um, yeah. I mean, look, maybe this is something which the compiler team will kind of standardize later, but yeah, yeah. If it's working for embed file, I am happy. Okay. So yeah, we can get rid of all of that now, and yeah, let's do the logic stuff. We can get rid of this stuff too. Okay. So, okay, so in the first part of each loop, we'll want to detect if the kind of correct option was selected. Zig out, and then if it is selected, load a different image, come up with a set of options that also contains a solution. And so I think a way to do this would be to have a fixed array of 4 integers, where each integer is going to represent one of these photo indexes, and then we also keep track of an index of what of like the photo that's being rendered, and then kind of yeah, and then we have this fixed array of 4. Have the first element of it be the same as the photo, then randomly populate it with 3 others, and then do some random permutation on that array to then mix up the words. Like I feel that this would be a straightforward way of doing it. Actually, but before I do that, I want to make this image slightly larger. Actually, these seem a bit too small, at least for my aesthetic tastes. So if we go to this draw bordered texture and the image height here, let's make this, why don't we actually make this half of the, we'll go half of the screen height, and then if this is too large, we can reduce it to say 0.45. This looks better to me, so I'll keep it this way. But maybe I'll move the center position of the button slightly down in order to compensate for it. So the button grid center, let's move that from 0.75 to 0.8. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, logic time. How should we do this? So we've done like the compute, the hovering, and then the button clicks. So then I need to just think a bit about the order in which we need to do things. So I think the standard like games like are similar in that they do the same. They all basically do three things. They take inputs, they process some inputs, they then update a state, and then they render that state. So if all of this part here has done the we at this stage we've detected if the user has pressed something down, and we then so then we need to redraw everything here. So how do we do this? Let's create a variable array. What just happened? Okay. So outside of this loop, let's do variable called current photo index, and this would just be we'll just let it be a U32, and then we'll have current text options. Maybe we call current text indices. We'll just do this. We'll start it off with 0, and then likewise we can start off. We can make these 0 as well. And then we want to, if necessary, we want to randomly populate. We want to randomly populate these. Actually, before we start doing random stuff, I want to just get everything done in a deterministic way, and then we'll randomize it all. So with these options set, then we need to detect if the correct button was pressed. If so, update. We want to update these, the current photo index and the current text options. Otherwise, and we'll do this later, we can kind of like blank out the incorrect option, maybe, at least just to indicate that it's been chosen. But this isn't a big issue. And this is just something I think would make the app a bit nicer, but yeah, we can test it. Otherwise fade text color on incorrect button choice. Yeah. If the button was just pressed. Okay, yeah. So 2 steps you've said. Yeah, this code won't compile and fails an AST check. Constant foo bar equals import foo. Concatenate foo and bar.zig. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's really curious. Like, do you feel like this is a bug then? Like, I wonder, just in the order of operations, I feel like, I was gonna say I feel like string concatenation is fairly high, but actually maybe not. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, interesting Okay. Oh, it's okay. So it's definitely intended, but yeah, it's not clear to me either what the why that's the why that's the intended choice. So it used to work, but was fixed fairly recently. Oh, curious. Okay. Um, okay. So we want to say if the button that was clicked. Ooh. Let's see. Why don't we say we can have an index here. Um, so one thing we could do, one thing I can do is just write some extra lines of code down here, or I can kind of embed this in this loop. I kind of want the two to be separate, so why don't I just have a I'll need to come up with some new names of things. Yeah, so each frame we go through this array and yeah, update which of these have been clicked, and then like, is this the best way of doing it? So you've said the other error you mentioned, I believe, was something like import a file outside of main package path. You can get around this by adding this to your build zig. Oh, okay. So add exe.main mod path equals path. Okay. This is good to know. So you're saying if in this we go something like yeah, if imports in a kind of like higher directories fail, try exe.main mod path equals this. Okay. These are all good to know. Make this big screen again. Yeah, what's a simple way of doing this click logic? There's like I feel like there's like heaps of messy ways of doing this, and then there's just some simple way. And I feel like what I've got here is messy, and so I should clear it out and replace it with something. Yeah, so I could just say, why don't we say we have a boolean called button clicked. No need for two of them. And then another one called button clicked index. And then we'll say we do need this mouse stuff. Okay, we'll get rid of these. And then, so yeah, for all of these, if if it's the case that the ith button has been hovered over and the mouse wasn't clicked the previous frame, but it is now down, then we want to set, then something has been clicked. So make this true, and then update this index to I, and then break. And then let's still just keep some debugs for the moment, since we will almost certainly need them a bit later. If a button has been clicked, let's just print out what that is. Then button clicked index. And okay, let's see if this continues to work. Oh, okay, so we've got at 175. I'm so used to a certain Odin syntax. It's going to be a while. I could probably add this. Do I want to add this to the tally? Do I feel as embarrassed about this? Maybe, maybe not. Uh, 244. What? Don't know how that got there. Unused local variable current. Okay, yeah. It's otherwise working. So now we want to do. Let's make this full screen again. Now we want to continue with the logic. So. We want to say if actually let's go back 2 screens. So for these current text options, if the index that was clicked of the current text options, so we want the button clicked index. If this thing is equal to the current photo index, then this, the correct option was selected. So you do updates. We'll just randomize this. But currently, let's just increment the photo index by 1, mod the appropriate thing. So we'll say the current photo index plus is equals 1, and then mods in Zig work a bit differently. Otherwise, I would want to say this, just because we have a 4 images at the moment, but I suspect this won't work in C. How do we do the mods again? So it's at mod. For unsigned integers, this is the same as numerator / denominator. Okay, so we want to say this is equal to mod of what? We want the second argument to be 4. So current is equal to mod of current further index 4. Okay. And then, okay, that will update that. And then we want to update the text options. So I think we can, okay, well, I'll give it a go. Let's try. I just feel like in some early Zig experiment I did something like this wasn't working, and then when I switched this mod, it kind of did work. But yeah, maybe this is really strong. So then we want to update the current text options. So then we want to say for I in all of these current text options, let's cycle these again. We'll add in randomness a bit later. So we'll say cycled the cycled index is just equal to I plus 1 mod 4, and then current text option is cycled index. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, and then we want to update the drawing the texture part so it actually uses the correct index. So let's do that too. So we want to go, instead of 0, we want this to be the current, what's it called? The current photo index. Let's see what compile errors we get. So, expected 244. Come on, Emacs, bro. Yep, definitely. Like, I like to think that I'm like above making these like equals and double equal sign errors, and then it just happens. Doesn't know what current text option is. That's because it should be plural. And what else? Use of undeclared identifier. Okay. So yeah, it looks like this. It looks like you're right. Two-step with regards to these mods. It is working fine. A variable of type comp_time int must be constant comp_time. What's this one? Oh, I see. I didn't specify the type. So, I think we want this to be a usize. But I think we might be comparing like U32s with U size as well. So, or not. Okay, and unfortunately something's off with the logic since this is not updating. Damn. Let's figure out that then. So what's up? Oh, also the way that the text that's getting drawn on here, we need to actually have that depending on these arrays as well. I didn't update that. So yeah, we want to see current text options in the render part. So where's the draw button text? Okay. So instead of what do we need to have here instead? Let's see. So for all of these button positions, we want this to be the current text options. Right? So for these current text options, and these indices, we want to get the we want to look up the photo in, is it the photo info array? Yeah. We want to look up the index of this, and then read off from this the name of the common name. Okay. So let's do that. I guess I can get rid of this. So you said comparisons are more relaxed than other ops. Pretty sure you can compare any two integer sizes, even signed with unsigned. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I think the problems I've had with like U size and U32 before was with like equality checking, perhaps, or actually it was too long. Okay. Yeah, I think like with regards to the mod equals, since stuff like and equals like doesn't work. Well, like and equals doesn't actually mean like the logical and equals. It means the like bitwise and likewise with like the or equals. Yeah, maybe I was just thinking this extended to mod even though it worked for plus. But now I know. Okay, why is this not know the pause? So the pause here is going to equal, we need to look up the button positions. So where are the button position I? Oh, hang on. This is yeah. It's not going to understand I. We want to do this, I think. Nope. But oh. Okay, at least these are working. And are these what we expected? So it should be I was expecting the order to be the cloudless sulfur, the swallowtail, the checker spot, and then the katia, but it looks like they've all increased by 1. Which okay, I guess that means one of the increment functions is working. But the image is not updating. Okay, let's figure out this bug. So yeah, 2-step says, you maybe were thinking of signed integer. For that you must use mod or remainder. I think that was the case, yeah. It's good to know then that for the unsigned integers, yeah, the mods work as you'd expect. Okay, so yeah, what's happening with here? Let's figure this stuff out. So maybe I just put a debug print in here. I was going to say debug print to say that the correct option was selected, but surely it is if we're clicking all of these. So then what's going wrong? But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt just to have it in here. Now we can say debug correct option selected. And then we want to just pass in here the button clicked index. Okay, then we can get rid of this one. And this one. So yeah. Oh, so okay. For whatever reason, this fired a couple of times initially. Why? Okay, and then yeah, all of these are like as we'd expect, but yeah, why did this start off like this? Oh, maybe it's actually some like looping logic error. Okay, so I'm saying just right. I think I meant what are we meant to be doing? Like all I want to do is just say send 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 0. So it should be saying I is equal to, or maybe I'm like, if I'm cycling things backwards or forwards, whatever, like I just want to see some cycling behavior happening. And then options I, so yeah, if this is 0, this is going to be 1, etc., etc. So yeah, move whatever's in 1 to 0, move whatever's in 2 to 1, 3 to 2, and then oh, okay, and then for the fourth one, when we're moving the 0 has actually already been reset. Okay, so this was a logic thing. So I think we want to like save we want to save one of these. So we want to say temp is equal to the current text options. Oh, this is nasty. The first one of these, then kind of cycle these, and then really I want to just say move actually this isn't this bad. This isn't that bad. Make this +1, and then after this simply say currently the fourth one, the final one, we don't want this to equal the first one, we just want this to equal the temp. Okay, this is good, cycling's happening, but this isn't, you know, no one wants to solve the quiz this way. This is just like a, you know, some like gambling machine, like spin the thing, and this is like some butterfly roulette wheel now. Not what I wanted to make, but interesting for 10 seconds. Okay, how do we stop it so that the correct option is actually, yeah, it's an easy game for humans now, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, literally, there was a puzzle game I made a number of years ago, and when I saw there were some puzzles, like, it was a puzzle game. When I was watching some people play it on Twitch, basically some people just like tried brute forcing every solution, and so literally like it's just reminding me of that. But no, we're not going to. I'm trying to avoid this in future puzzles I make. Okay, so yeah, how do we make it so the correct option isn't selected to begin with? So, I see. So it's not just whether the current text option is selected. We also want to make sure that the button was clicked when this happened. So if the button has been clicked and these two match, then we should be fine. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay, and now it's a really easy game since the correct answer is always the first one. But hey, this is cool. We now have a working app. Okay, this is really satisfying actually. This is yeah, I feel like this feels like something from the 21st century where as users, since we're spending so much of our lives on computers, if we want to just make our own software to, you know, make ourselves happy, make others happy, we can just from scratch make something. And this is basically it. And we need to add in randomness, we need to do other stuff, but we're kind of here. Okay, I am happy. So, let me think. It's now 8 o'clock, so I should have dinner. But I kind of want to get some of the randomness stuff working. So maybe we can do that instead. But before we do that, let's save it. Let's remind ourselves what we just did. Just basically getting the correct button logic in, I think. Okay. So to say, like, yeah, added so the correct button logic, currently deterministic. Okay. Okay, so now time to randomize this process. So, what's the best place to start with this? I think an easy place to start is simply randomizing the next image that gets loaded. Since this is just a single thing we need to do, I think randomizing the options that get filled and then the order in which they're filled are more complicated. So we'll just start with the simple thing first. Okay. So yeah. So from memory, last time two-step you posted an example of random stuff. I think I added it in here. So let's see. So remember how to do this. So test. Hey, let's just make another file with this. So random test dot zig, and then paste this in here. So we say so we want standard to be the standard library, and then what do we want to do? Yeah, let me just create a really basic program that simply prints out random numbers from some random integer from 0 to some limit n, and then once we have that, n here will represent the number of lines in the program, and we'll be good. I'm gonna open a window again. It is getting really hot in here. I'm gonna just decrease the temperature. Okay, let us cool off. Okay, so so we want to do Wait. I'm just gonna mute myself until the coughing stops. No one wants to hear this crap. Okay. Feeling slightly better. Yeah, so you've said might want to use something like random.int range at most. Yeah. Hmm. But yeah, and we can continue browsing this random file. Yeah, so there's stuff to return random floating point values, an int range. This kind of, yeah, this looks good. Maybe this is slightly more general than what we need actually. We just need something from 0 to n, but maybe this is fine. Like yeah, int range at most. So then, okay, so how are we going to do this then? So I want to say standard.ran.int range at most. Something which is r dot of type random, and then a type, so let's deal with U32s, and then going from 0 to 10 inclusive, and then this R type of random, what actually is that? What is this of type random? What is this type? Okay, it's a struct on line 33. So if we want to init this, okay, let's just define that then. So we can say random is, can it be a const? Random is standard dot mem dot random, and then we want to init this with what? Some pointer some comtime fn, oh, some function, okay, and then some buffer of random bytes. What? Okay, yeah. So yeah. So you've said Oh, okay. Oh, if this thing is a so if this thing is a method of random, then yeah, there's no need to specify it. This should be enough, I think. Okay, so you're saying yeah, and this is a method of it. Okay, useful. Okay, so then we init that, and then we want to say yeah, const random number is equal to this thing, but since it's a method, we can do that. And then keep that there for now. Move this up here. And then simply print this. Then we can run this heaps of times and see if it's producing sufficiently random stuff. So then let's just print that thing. The random number. Okay. This is your test stuff now. Oops, this one. So now we want to say zig run random test.zig. Like, I don't have much experience with the testing framework. Like, later on, I'll figure out how to do stuff with that. But for now, with me, it's just plain old simple standard programs. Our unused local variable p yeah. I meant to be using, if I set that up, I should be calling it from this, right? So yeah. So you've said const random is prng dot random. Actually, don't I want this one here to be prng dot? Do I not want this? Like, what is this Exo Shiro 256? Never heard of this. Okay, so it's some form of that. Okay. I need to get warm again. I'm sorry. Living in this place is brutal. Okay. So you've said there are many PRNG implementations. They all provide standard.random. This is similar to standard.mem allocator. Okay, sure. That I can understand. Yeah, I'm still not sure there. What do I do just to print out the random integers here? Yeah, I'm not feeling that great. It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, this house is really old. It's like over 100 years old, and the heating system isn't particularly new. Like when I'm outside, even when it's below freezing point, things are fine. And then like minutes after I enter the house, I'm just my lungs are coughing. This is tonight's been particularly bad, but yeah, it's not normally this bad, so I need to think about long-term solutions to this. But yeah, no, great. Thanks for this. This is already really helpful. The question now then is how to randomly seed this with the time or something. So you say, yeah, it's always 3 because the seed is always 0. I see. Okay, so then we want to use the time system then, which I haven't used either. How do I get an int representing the, the time in Zig? Okay, let me just use the LLM. How do I get the times? Hopefully this will just produce the line of code I want. Okay. I think this should be fine then. If this can be believed. So, milli timestamp is apparently something. So let's do milli timestamp. And it is, and it's returning an I64. Okay. Okay. We'll use that. But it was in standard dot time. So yeah. So we'll say yeah, seed is equal to standard dot time dot milli time stamp, and then try and use the seed in here. Let's see how this works, if it does. It wants to use 64 but found an I64. That is okay. Let's just convert it. I'm a bit confused. Okay. I was gonna say I was a bit confused why like the millisecond since epoch would be an I. Like, when would it ever be negative? But if this epoch is like this epoch of Linux on like 1970 or whenever it was, I can totally see that happening. But yeah, you also recommend standard.time.nano timestamp. Okay. Okay, and then we want, so if we use this at truncate, okay, truncate, maybe this should work. Okay, so let me check out truncate then. Truncates bits from an integer type, resulting in a smaller or same sized integer type. Okay. But I thought in this case it's expecting a U64, but it's found an I64. So I'm confused why like truncate would be the option to do in this case instead of instead of like some absolute value, basically. I can try just using the nano instead. Maybe that naturally returns something that's not signed. So you say nano.timestamp. Yeah, it's expecting these signed integers. Okay, so that one we would need to truncate it. Maybe now I can use the mod. So if we did mod seed and then I guess should this be a 32 or 31? Or use incast. Okay. So let's see. Incast. Oh, any type to any type. Okay. So let's do incast seed. Is there one too many brackets here? Okay, great. This basically looks like what I wanted. Okay, so now then in the application we just want this to be okay. Let me just save this as an example. Got simple 0 to n random insert selection working. Yeah, are you happy if I say like thanks again as well? Thanks again to help. Okay, and then now I've got that. Let's insert. Let's just include this in the code. So we'll save this to R for random, and then back in the main. When we do the button, click stuff, for the randomized part, instead of increasing it, we want to do select a random int from 0 to. I just have to use the Odin syntax. I like it more. And into a different int than current photo index has been chosen. Okay, so we're saying do that, do this, and this one we want to be number of lines -1. Leave that in here. So we want to. What do we want to do? So we want to say we want to put this inside of a loop and just keep it going until until what? So I guess like a question. For this like png.random, like calling successive random should give us different random numbers, right? Like we don't need to actually. Yeah, we only need to see it at once. Okay. Okay, so we want to say we want to go let's say we have a variable called like new, basically like the new index, new photo index, and let's make this equal to the current photo index. And then we can say while the current photo index is equal to, while the new photo index is equal to the current photo index, try and choose something else. So in particular, generate a new random thing, and then actually this one we want to be the same. It's rather set this new photo index to be this thing, and then the loop will break once that's sufficiently different. Yeah, maybe move all of the initialization up somewhere so it only happens once. Yeah, important suggestion. So all of this stuff can be moved up, I think. So let's go to main and do that. We can do that before we spawn a window. Set up a random number generator. Okay. Yeah, got that here. Okay. Hopefully that's it. So now we can do zig build run. Okay. Unused local constant. What? I thought we were using this. Like where? I guess we should keep the thing. And then the part we want to randomize is the so yeah, get rid of all of that, and then okay. But yeah, why is this not being used? Like we're saying in range at most here of this random thing, but then well, okay. So okay, so let's see the order with which. Okay. Things are definitely moving about, but the images aren't being updated. Why? Yeah, something. Okay. Randomness is happening. I'm happy with that, but the. Not sure why. Yeah, so we're saying, make this a bit larger. So we're going, so yeah, so we've chosen this new photo index, and then we need to set the current photo index to be the new one. I think we forgot to do that. Yep. Which one's this again? This is the swallowtail. Cool. Yeah, I'm this. We're getting really close now. This was the checker spot. Swallowtail. Yeah. But all of these options I'm choosing are just these ones. Wait, hang on. Did just to click on the wrong one, Mark? That's not it. That's not it. That is it. Okay, like, yeah, already the randomness seems to be okay. I'm not sure why. I was just expecting, maybe so maybe the order in which the correct answers is going is just being shifted by one each time. So that one, hang on, so it was 3, 1, 1. Okay, this already seems to be random, and I don't know why this single. I'm not sure why this random code here is now making these options feel sufficiently random. I thought for some reason the other ones would be fixed. Look, I'm not going to complain. This is already kind of, yeah, this is already working. Great. Okay. Okay, we're now a bit after 2 hours. It's 8:30, and I'm hungry for dinner. So I think I'm going to call it here. After this is saved. So let's do. Yeah, we basically just got the random stuff working. So yeah, we're just adding that. We added a random. Made photo selection slightly random, because I think like next I think I want to do I want to sort of change the randomness a bit later on, so that say there's like 50 butterflies, in like the first 50 questions you literally get each of those at least once, instead of possibly, you know, like some animal like 10 times within those first 50. But this is already really good. Made photo selection slightly random. Seems to be working. Okay. Yeah. I'm really happy with the progress. Of course, I would not have nearly got this far if it weren't for your suggestions and help, two-step. So thanks so much again for that. And yeah, otherwise I plan to stream tomorrow again as well. But yeah, I am pretty happy with how this is already working. Yeah, in fact, maybe actually tomorrow we can expand the number of animals in here, and the number of butterflies, because like already, like I feel like I'm already like using this to I've already kind of like memorized this just from using these four just from using this for a bit. So yeah, okay. Yeah, hopefully see you next time. Otherwise, have a good night too, and happy New Year's Eve. Best wishes for the new year.